The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s 5-day official visit to the United States is expected to result in investment pledges worth of at least $1.3 billion. Lawyers have suspended Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnolfo Teves Jr. file a motion to dismiss the illegal possession of firearms and explosives complaints against a legislator. The Commission on Elections disqualifies Legazpi City Albay Mayor Carmen Geraldine Rosal. And the diamond found in King Charles III's royal scepter, known as the Star of Africa, is being demanded to be returned to South Africa. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, the 5th of May, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am William Theo. First in the news. The 5-day official working visit of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to the United States has ended. The chief executive has reported the investment pledges he received from the United States companies he spoke with. The investment pledges amount to $1.3 billion from foreign companies he met in Washington, D.C. According to the president, this will create 6,700 new jobs for Filipinos. PBBM hopes that this investment promise will increase. For President Marcos, his conversations with high-ranking U.S. officials, including United States President Joe Biden, were productive.
We returned to the Philippines with over $1.3 billion in investment pledges that have the potential to create around 6,700 new jobs for Filipinos within the country. We expect even more investment to lead to materialize once these companies firm up their plans. Nevertheless, the interest is a welcome sign of their trust and confidence in the Philippines as an investment destination.
The president hopes that the cooperation between the Philippines and America will continue to progress.
The joint statement we issued outlines the key initiatives that we will pursue across all areas of our bilateral engagement to achieve these objectives. I look forward to having our respective teams follow through on the many areas of cooperation that we have identified. This will help advance our key priorities with respect to agriculture and food security and to promote energy security.
Philippine National Police Chief Police General Benjamin Acorda Jr. urges regional directors to replicate the Quezon City Police District Integrated Command Control Center. The QCPD ICCC will monitor the police's 3-minute response to a reported crime incident. Leia Ilagan will tell us why.
Philippine National Police Chief Police General Benjamin Acorda Jr. encourages all regional directors to set up an Integrated Command Control Center, or ICCC, similar to the one in the Quezon City Police District, or QCPD. The ICCC is a monitoring facility for the 3-minute response time of police in every reported crime incident. General Acorda stated that he will ensure that this happens under his leadership as part of the PNP's crime prevention and solution strategies.
I was impressed by the visit in QCPD. Nick helped me influence other commanders that they will do the same in their respective areas of responsibilities, especially in the most populated areas.
Acorda believes that this state-of-the-art facility will help the PNP reduce street crimes. Meanwhile, the National Capital Region Police Office or NCRPO showcased their bike patrollers who will be deployed in Metro Manila to prevent crimes.
So the instrument most of it is yung crime prevention at saka talagang yung maramdaman talaga yung police presence in every yung crime prone areas. And the good thing, yun ang gusto kong ma-adapt sana sa ibang cities and municipality. Yung command center ng ating QCPD, wherein they have that 3-minute response. If we can do that in the whole area of Metro Manila, na pag may nangyaring insidente, andyan kagad ang police, then I think yung crime prevention lalong mapapaintin.
General Acorda also challenged NCRPO personnel to perform their duties well, as their failure and accomplishments will reflect on the image of the PNP organization. Leia Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Meanwhile, lawyers of suspended Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnolfo Teves Jr. filed a motion to dismiss the illegal possession of firearms and explosive complaints against the legislator. Dante Amento tells us why.
The lawyers of suspended Negros Oriental 3rd District Congressman Arnolfo Teves Jr. argued the search recently conducted by the PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group in the house of their client in Bayawan was illegal. It did not allegedly follow the proper process of serving a search warrant. Hence, they filed a motion to dismiss the illegal possession of firearms and explosives against Teves Jr.
Ang basis ng motion to dismiss namin is the illegality ng search na ginawa. And admitted din naman nila dun sa complaint nila na nag-conduct ng, merong team of staff personnel na nag-conduct ng clearing team bago nila in-implement yung actual search.
The evidence is allegedly planted and inadmissible. Counsel for the two sons of Congressman Teves also urged the panel of prosecutors to drop the same complaint filed against them.
Sana po yung mga basehan na aming inilahad ay maging sapat upang ma-dismiss at mapawalang bisa po yung mga hanabla o yung habla sa aming mga kliyente.
The panel of prosecutors concluded the preliminary investigation of the complaint today, May 5, over the case, and it is now submitted for resolution. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, has already procured more than 500 units of handheld devices, which will be used for digital payment of single ticketing system. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA will provide handheld devices to traffic law enforcers of local government units in Metro Manila, which will be used for the implementation of the single ticketing system. The MMDA already procured 510 units of handheld devices, which will be initially distributed to 5 LGUs in the National Capital Region, which was part of the pilot run of the STS.
Ito po yung handheld ticketing device na ating ibibigay sa lahat po ng LGUs ng NCR. Ito po ay fully digital. Pwede na pong magbayad dito pero hindi po cash kundi digital payment system.
Among the first LGUs which will receive handheld devices from the MMDA will be the San Juan City, Parañaque City, Muntinlupa City, Valenzuela City, and Quezon City. Using handheld devices, traffic violators can pay their fines on the spot during apprehension via digital payment system. The agency will also provide body-worn cameras to those deputized MMDA traffic personnel. This will soon be mandatory to those apprehending officers to record their conversation with erring motorists to avoid corruption. The video and audio recording will be recorded on the command center of the MMDA in Pasig City in real time.
Ito po yung sinasabi namin na isa sa paraan kung paano maiiwasan yung pagkukotong, Kung sino lamang po yung authorized na may paniket, yun po ang i-issuehan namin ito. Pag wala pong body camera na suot, ibig sabihin po noon kolorum yung nanghuhuli na enforcer.
Based on the assessment of the MMDA and other LGUs, the week-long pilot run of STS since May 2 has been a success.
Successful po yung ating launch doon sa 5 syudad. Wala po tayong nakita or na-observe or na-report na major na pagkakamali.
MMDA projects that the full implementation of STS among all NCR LGUs will be on the third quarter of 2023. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Different health workers unions in Manila held Unity March in remembrance of the upcoming Health Workers Day on Sunday. They called the government to increase the salary of health workers, 33,000 pesos entry salary for public health workers, with salary grade 1 and 1,100 pesos per day for private health workers. In addition to the salary, they also call to have job security, mass hiring, welfare of health workers, and no contractualization. Like Pauline, she worked as a nurse for 17 years, working in a private hospital, but her salary is not yet enough to support her family. She doesn't want to leave the Philippines because her family is here, but she said she already is thinking of going abroad if the benefits of health workers in the country are still not yet changed.
Halos lahat kami, kung minsan nagtitinda, nag-online selling, kasi hindi talaga living wage yung natatanggap namin dito. Kaya halos nag-iisip na talaga kami na umalis na ng bansa. Kasi kung ganito lang naman ganito yung mangyayari sa amin, ang ganda ng oportunidad. Tapos binabaon kami sa utang, binabaon kami sa mga loans dahil wala naman kaming sapat na
For our news abroad, coronation preparation of the British royal couple King Charles and Camilla Queen Consort are apparent in the nation's capital, with superfans anticipating the event camps along the procession route. From London, United Kingdom, here's Jella Garmino to tell us the details live. Jella?
Prince Charles, the longest-serving heir to the British throne, will be officially crowned as King Charles III in a symbolic ceremony at Westminster Abbey tomorrow morning. The ceremony has been planned for years, and the streets of London have been adorned with flags and decorations in preparation for the big day. The coronation timetable is now available, providing a complete guide to the day's events, from the moment of how the king awakens to the end of the day's celebration. The schedule is packed with processions, speeches, and performances. The coronation processions are expected to draw huge crowds. Those who plan to watch should consult the guide and know where to go and what to look out for. While some are excited for the coronation, others are apathetic. Some are using the opportunity to voice their concerns about the monarchy, while others are simply uninterested. However, many royal superfans have already camped out on the streets of London to secure the best view of the processions.
Well, I think we are all going to experience pomp and circumstance like nobody else can do. The British are absolutely the best at that. They've been doing it for centuries. It's going to be timed to the millisecond, and I think it'll just be fascinating to observe.
I always come to the royal events because I love the royal family, so does everyone. We wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, you could watch it on television, but you're going to see it all, and it's all part of that experience, everyone coming together.
Meanwhile, for the first time ever, the coronation will be broadcasted live in different media platforms across the UK, where the international audience can also access. Back to you, Kat.
Thank you, Jella Garmino, reporting live from London, United Kingdom. The diamond found in King Charles III's royal scepter, known as the Star of Africa, is being demanded to be returned to South Africa. Annie Reyes-Mancilia details why live. Annie?
Good evening, Cass. A number of South Africans are calling for the return of the diamond, officially known as the Cullinan 1, with over 8,000 people signing an online petition to give it back from the royal scepter in Britain. Mathusi Kamanga, a lawyer and an activist who has promoted the petition, has stated that the diamond needs to be returned, and it needs to be a symbol of pride, heritage, and culture. The Cullinan 1, alongside a smaller one named the Cullinan 2, usually worn by monarch in Britain on occasion, was cut from the 3,100-carat Cullinan diamond, which was discovered in 1905 in South Africa. Upon discovery, the diamond was offered to the monarchs of Britain when South Africa was still under British rule. However, in times of decolonization, Mr. Kamanga stated that African people are now realizing that decolonization is also about taking back what was taken from them in addition to gaining freedom. Meanwhile, not everyone from South Africa feels the same way about taking back the diamonds, with some commenting that what was valued back in the day does not matter in current times. Back to you, Cass.
Thank you, Annie Reyes-Mancilia, reporting live from Singapore. About 13 to 14 million US dollars, or close to 17,000 metric tons of food supplies, have been looted in warehouses or on its way to be delivered to Sudan, according to the World Food Programme, or WFP. These reports from Eddie Rowe, WFP's country director, came after UN Aid Chief Martin Griffiths appealed to the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces to ensure the safe passage of humanitarian aid and staffs. Rowe also mentioned that the WFP is currently engaging with their donors to purchase more supplies urgently, or they will run out of stock in the next 2 to 3 months. WFP is also looking at how they can quickly procure commodities and safely deliver the assistance for the Sudanese people. 1/3 of people in Sudan already rely on humanitarian assistance, and about 100,000 people have been forced to flee to neighboring countries due to the conflict. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, William.
Thank you, Kath. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, or CAAP, announced that the Air Traffic Management Center corrective maintenance activity on May 17 will be shortened to 2 hours. Janice Inhente will tell us why.
Before the planned corrective maintenance activity on the Air Traffic Management Center, or ATMC, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, or CAAP, said they have conducted several process reviews and simulations to determine if they can shorten the 6-hour scheduled airspace shutdown on May 17. According to CAAP, they have found out that the maintenance can be done in a period of 2 hours.
Pinag-aralan mabuti ang linya ng ating mga system. So nakita po namin na pwede, dadagdagan natin ang number of manpower para mahati po yung amount of man-hours. So lumabas po dyan, nung pinag-iwa-hiwalay po natin, 3 team ang gagawa, iba't iba, sabay-sabay. So napaiksi po natin yan from 6 to 2 hours.
CAAP also changed the schedule of shutdown from the previous announced 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. The maintenance activity will now be conducted in a shorter period of time on May 17 from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Yan po in consideration sa mga request ng ating mga stakeholders. Naiintindihan po namin yung kanilang concern, at yan po naman ay patuloy namin pinag-iisipan. Kaya po ito, lalo po nitong mga nakakaraang araw, pinag-aralan po, we made parang simulation step by step. Tinignan namin saan namin pwedeng mapaiksi o kumbaga mahati ang trabaho.
CAAP has also canceled the initial notice to airmen and issued another NOTAM. CAAP also assures the public that all necessary measures are being taken to ensure the safety and efficiency of air travel during the maintenance activity. Meanwhile, airline companies are now identifying the affected flights on the said date and are set to release flight notifications and advisories to affected passengers. Jenny Sinhente, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, announced that 93.8% or 952 trillion for budget allotment had been released to various national government agencies. The agency reports that they ensure to release all budget allotments on time with the approval of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. This is also to instill fiscal discipline and promote bureaucratic efficiency among government agencies. The DBM hopes to streamline the procurement procedures on the part of agencies in implementing their projects, specifically in the infrastructure sector. Inflation rate for the month of April drops to 6.6%, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA. Meanwhile, some consumers are saving money in preparation for the possible effects of El Nino, which may increase food prices. Bernadette Tinoy will tell us why.
The Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA, reports that the inflation rate in the country has dropped to 6.6% from the 7.6% inflation recorded last March. According to PSA National Statistician Undersecretary Dennis Mapa, the average inflation rate from the first month of the year is recorded as 7.9%. He added that food and non-alcoholic beverages were the main sources of deceleration for the inflation rate in April, with the rate of 7.9% from 9.3%.
Ang average inflation mula sa Enero hanggang Abril 2023 ay nasa antas na 7.9%.
PSA also reports that the inflation rates in the National Capital Region and regions outside of NCR also decreased.
Ang headline inflation nitong Abril ay bumagal din sa antas na 7.1%. Noong Marso 2023, ito ay naitala sa 7.8% at 4.4% naman noong Abril 2022.
Western Visayas, or Region 6, recorded the highest inflation rate outside Metro Manila, while Cordillera Administrative Region, or CAR, recorded the lowest inflation rate. Meanwhile, the possible effects of El Nino may hit the food prices in the country, which urges some consumers to save money when buying goods and services.
Talagang bumaba. May nabili akong 50 pesos ang kilo ng galunggong. Sariwa pa.
Kung kakayanin ng budget, di bibili kahit konti. Pagka wala, di magano na lang, isda gulay.
Bernadette Tinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The condition of 46 students of Calawagan Daquel National High School in the town of Gataran, Cagayan is fine after they experienced a panic attack following the magnitude 5.8 earthquake in Macunacon, Isabela yesterday, May 4. According to Emelita Collado, principal second of the said school, all the students came out of their classroom safely when they felt the earthquake. But due to the hot weather, the students became weak and one after another passed out. These include 43 female and 3 male students. She said they immediately took some students to the nearest hospital while some were given first aid at the school. The principal also clarified that the students experienced a panic attack due to the intense heat of the weather and, of course, their fear. Collado also said that they will now focus on the mental and spiritual aspects of the students to prevent panic attacks from happening again.
After 6 decades of development, a vaccine for a deadly respiratory virus has finally received approval from the United States Food and Drug Administration for use for those aged 60 and above. Leading officials expressed their excitement over the significant breakthrough, which has the potential to save many lives. Mariela Toza has this report live. Mariel?
Good evening, Kath. The world's first vaccine for respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, Arexvy, developed by pharmaceutical giant GlaxoSmithKline, or GSK, was officially approved by the U.S. FDA on Wednesday, May 3. During the clinical trial, the vaccine was able to demonstrate an efficacy rate of 82.6% and reducing the risk of severe illness by 94.1%. RSV is a highly contagious virus that causes severe respiratory infections and affects people of all ages, particularly those with underlying health issues, that leads to 160,000 hospitalizations and 13,000 deaths annually, according to federal statistics. In the pool of 25,000 participants, some experience a mild or moderate side effects such as muscle pain and headache. But there were also reports of irregular heartbeats in 10 individuals and cases of brain inflammation within 3 weeks of receiving the vaccine for those aged 60 and above. However, the vaccine will not be made available to the public yet, as the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention assesses and evaluates the limited health risks observed during the initial research, which included a single case of Guillain-Barré syndrome. Kath, meanwhile, GSK announced that they have millions of doses of the vaccine ready to be shipped, and they plan to launch it for seniors in the upcoming autumn season. Back to you, Kath.
Thank you, Mariela Toza, for that report live from Australia. Following Moscow's accusation against Ukraine's leader Zelensky of attempting to assassinate Russian President Vladimir Putin, the city's spokesperson now claims that Washington was the mastermind behind the alleged drone attack. Cherise Longbowen will tell us why.
As Ukraine remains firm in its stance that the alleged drone attack was staged to escalate the war, United States National Security spokesman John Kirby has called Russia's latest claims ludicrous. Ukraine also emphasizes that they have nothing to do with the incident, as Russian President Vladimir Putin was not even at the central government complex during that time. According to Putin's spokesman Dmitry Peskov, the United States was behind the attack but did not elaborate on any evidence. In response, Mr. Kirby stated in a media conference that U.S. officials do not endorse attacks on individual leaders and that the USA also does not encourage or enable Ukraine to strike outside its borders. Meanwhile, in a visit at the International Criminal Court, or ICC, in The Hague, in the Netherlands, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky urged for a special tribunal to hold Russia accountable for its crimes of aggression. The ICC has already issued an arrest warrant for Putin for the war invasion, which included the unlawful deportation of children. However, the ICC does not have an official order yet to prosecute on such grounds. Cherise Longbowen, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I'm Kat Maraos, live from Bangkok, Thailand. Good evening.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC Unbank, upheld the decision of its second division to disqualify Legazpi City Albay Mayor Carmen Geraldine Rosal. Rosal allegedly joined in the distribution of cash assistance for tricycle drivers before the 2022 national elections. The poll body ruled that Rosal is found to have engaged in giving money to influence, induce, or corrupt the voters. Rosal was then running for mayor, and the act was made during the campaign period. The decision will be final and executory after 5 days if Rosal will not secure a temporary restraining order, or TRO, from the Supreme Court. She will be replaced by Alfredo Garbin Jr., who got the second highest votes in the mayoralty race. The COMELEC Unbank's decision to disqualify Carmen Geraldine Rosal as mayor shocked the residents of Legazpi City and Albay. For some Legazpeños, the stepping of the mayor off the position is a loss for their place. Alan Manansala will tell us why.
The Legaspeños believe that Legazpi City Mayor Carmen Geraldine Rosal is doing her duties well. This belief remains despite the Commission on Elections implementing the disqualification order against Mayor Rosal on May 4. According to COMELEC spokesperson Attorney John Rex Laudianco, only a temporary restraining order or TRO from the Supreme Court can prevent Mayor Rosal from being removed from office.
Halimbawa po, ang senaryo natin, nailuklok na po si Mayor Garbin, nailuklok na po siya. So, at tuloy pa rin naman po yung kaso sa Korte Suprema. Kung sakaling magdesisyon po na iba yung desisyon ng Korte Suprema, pwede pa rin naman po mapababa kahit na iniluklok ng COMELEC. Ang importante po dito, sumulong po yung kaso ayon sa ating rules of procedure at makakaasa po kayo na tutupad po ang COMELEC.
However, for some residents, the removal of the mayor from her position is a loss for their community.
Okay naman yan. Wala naman kami nakitang sa amin na. Wala naman kami nakitang nalaman din namin. Babalita lang. Nalaman namin. Pero hindi namin alam kung ano yung problema.
Nabigla nung una, pero baka meron pa naman na paraan kung para makabalik si Mayor Geraldine Rosal as mayor. Kasi alam ko, gusto niya lang mapaganda ang Legazpi as a loving and peace city.
In the resolution of the Commission on Elections or COMELEC and Bank, Mayor Rosal was found to have violated Section 68 of the Omnibus Election Code. This was due to her participation in the distribution of cash assistance to tricycle drivers before the 2022 national and local elections. According to the COMELEC, the distribution of aid with Mayor Rosal was an attempt to influence, urge, and corrupt the voters. We have been trying to get a reaction from Mayor Rosal on the issue, but she was not yet responded to our calls and messages. Alan Manansala, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The frequency of rainfall in different parts of the country is a sign of looming El Nino, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA. Weather specialist Alzar Aurelio noted that this weather pattern typically occurs in the country during the last 3 weeks of May. However, the Intertropical Convergence Zone, or ITCZ, is already affecting the country, which is a breeding ground for a low-pressure area, or LPA.
Ito naranasan mo yung mga abnormal na weather pattern ay dahil po yan na tayo ipapunta na sa El Nino.
Aurelio pointed out that the tracts of tropical cyclones could be affected during the existence of El Nino, resulting in less rainfall in the country.
Tingin ko mas kaunti ang papasok sa PAR dahil sa epekto ng El Nino. Dahil pag may El Nino, nagkakaroon ng isang tinatawag po naming blocking high o isang high pressure area na nasa East Philippine Sea. Eh, siyempre, doon dumadaan ng bagyo.
Different provinces are preparing for the possible effects of El Nino that may be experienced in the coming days. To mitigate the negative impacts of climate change, including the potential dangers posed by El Nino, the League of Provinces of the Philippines National Chairperson Governor Dakila Kua suggests long-term solutions such as watershed management and the close monitoring of forests. Alan Manansala will tell us why.
Following the El Nino alert released by the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos immediately issued a memorandum to remind each local government unit of what to do against severe heat this dry season. The memo includes various policies and procedures that each LGU may follow to develop an ordinance that will help mitigate the effects of El Nino in their localities.
Sa tingin ko po, kailangan natin makipag-ugnayan at makipagtulungan ang mga LGUs sa tulong, lalo na under the leadership of the national government, to determine long-term solutions.
This includes identifying and preventing illegal water tapping, as well as proper use and knowledge about water conservation. The League of Provinces of the Philippines will also be coordinating with the Department of Education for an information campaign on El Nino. They will also be implementing their plans for cloud seeding, irrigation water management, and protocols.
Kailangan po talaga watershed management, pagbabantay ng ating mga kagubatan at mga puno. Dahil ito ang nagsusustain ng katubigan sa panahon ng El Nino.
The Department of Health and Local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Offices, or LDRRMOs, are also making necessary preparations, including the storage of bottled water and food supplies.
Inaapektuhan po nito ang ating food production. So pagka nagkukulang ang pagkain natin, una, nahihirapan sa kabuhayan ng ating mga farmers. Pangalawa po, pagkulang ang produksyon ng pagkain, either mag-i-import tayo o kaya magtataasa naman po ang presyo kung nagkulang tayo sa importation.
In addition, they have confirmed that the calamity funds allocated for each area in the Philippines are ready to be utilized in case of emergency. Alan Manansala, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
Before we close, we will leave you with a word giving glory to God from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 21. It says, "Also take no heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee." Those are the reasons behind the news, May 5, 2023, reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
We return to the Philippines with over $1.3 billion in investment pledges that have the potential to create around 6,700 new jobs for Filipinos within the country. We expect even more investment to lead to materialize once these companies firm up their plans. Nevertheless, the interest is a welcome sign of their trust and confidence in the Philippines as an investment destination.
Ang basis ng motion to dismiss namin is the illegality ng search na ginawa. And admitted din naman nila dun sa complaint nila na nag-conduct ng, merong team of staff personnel na nag-conduct ng clearing team bago nila in-implement yung actual search.
Itong naranasan mo yung mga abnormal na weather pattern ay dahil po yan na tayo ipapunta na sa El Nino. Tingin ko mas kaunti ang papasok sa PAR dahil sa epekto ng El Nino. Dahil pag may El Nino, nagkakaroon ng isang tinatawag po naming blocking high o isang high pressure area na nasa East Philippine Sea. Siyempre, doon dumadaan ng bagyo.